Hey friends, welcome to Essentially Jessie. If this is your first time here, welcome. Today I'm talking about my top 10 designer fragrances for life. Oof, this was so hard, but let's get to it. Hey guys, so I really wanted to do a top 10 niche and top 10 designer fragrances for life. Ooh, this is hard and it sounds so silly. This is such first world problems, but if I had to narrow down my whole fragrance collection to just 10 designer fragrances, these are the ones I would pick. If this is your first time here, hit that little subscribe button and come join the party. This is where we talk about all things fragrance and essential oils. And if you really enjoy this video, please hit the like button and also drop me a comment below. What would your top 10 list look like? What would your number one be? I'm always interested to see if you could only pick one or two fragrances for the rest of your life with your current collection, what would you pick? Let me know. My number 10 spot, this was hard. This was really hard. I picked Coco Mademoiselle by Chanel, the original. Now, you guys know I have the intense version. I have a big bottle of the intense version, and it is intense. I actually did a versus battle between the two. I'll link that in the description box below. I think if I had to pick one for life, I'd probably go with the original. But I do love them both. But you'll have to check out my full review of them to see the differences, what I like, what I don't like. Is the intense one really more intense? That is always the question. I have another one like that in my top 10 list. So at number 10, Coco Mademoiselle by Chanel. Next up, my number 9 spot. I had to pick one fragrance from this brand because I really do appreciate all the fragrances from this brand. I picked Fresh Cream by Philosophy. This is such a pretty gourmand scent, warm vanilla. I love to layer this one with other fragrances. If I have other fragrances that are more masculine leaning, I can warm them up, sweeten them up with this little bottle of Fresh Cream. I think when I repurchase, I'll probably get a bigger bottle because this is a nice fragrance. These do make good gifts for stocking stuffers, gifts for daughters. This is probably one that is widely loved by women of all ages. So this is Fresh Cream by Philosophy. Coming in at my number 8 spot is YSL Libre. I have fallen in love with this fragrance in the last 3 or 4 or 5 months. It is so nice. It's such a great fragrance for the office, for a date. I could wear this anywhere. This is definitely signature scent worthy, and it's just nice. It's fresh, it's clean, and I don't know that I could live without this one. It's just, you guys know I love a great lavender fragrance, and this one is stellar. So that's why I put it at my number 8 spot. This is YSL Libre. Next up at my number 7 spot is Jasmine's Marzipan. This is from Maison Lancôme. So this is actually their upper end line of fragrances. The bottle is stunning. I did get the smaller one on this because I actually blind bought it, but I don't even know if I've talked about it that much on my channel. This is a lovely feminine fragrance, but is so unique. I feel like it is really unique. It's not the same fragrance that your friend is gonna wear or your mom or your roommate. This is probably a little bit more of a mature fragrance, but it is a nice clean fragrance. It's floral. It's a little bit gourmand. It's sweet. It's beautiful. This is Jasmine's Marzipan by Lancôme. My number 6 spot might be a little bit of a surprise to you guys. These are my top 10 designer fragrances for me, and for my number 6 spot, I actually picked a men's cologne. I love this. This is Viktor & Rolf Spice Bomb Extreme. I have fallen in love with this fragrance. It is a warm, creamy, just such a good spicy fragrance. This is a great fragrance for nighttime or for the holidays, for fall, for winter. This is a great fragrance to layer. Like this goes great with Philosophy's, that Fresh Cream that I mentioned earlier. I can put that on with this and really freshen it up and make it more feminine if I'm looking for Spice Bomb with more femininity to it. So this is Viktor & Rolf Spice Bomb Extreme, coming in at my number 6 spot on my top 10 designer fragrances for life. This is a fragrance that stole my heart. Coming in at number 5 is Rebecca Minkoff. This is a too cool for school fragrance. It's so good. It's so edgy. It's so modern while still being beautiful and feminine. This is not a typical rosy, flowery, pretty, fruity fragrance. This is something different, and that's why I wanted it on my top 10 list. I love leather fragrances. I love more masculine leaning fragrances, and that's really hard to find in the designer world. So this Rebecca Minkoff fragrance is beautiful in the packaging as well as beautiful in the fragrance. It's just a breath of fresh air amongst, when you go in the department store, a lot of times it's just a lot of florals, a lot of citruses, a lot of vanillas, and this is a breath of fresh air whenever you're looking for something different. And if I only had 10 for life, I would have to have a big bottle of this one because it is so different. This is black leather jacket. This is black pumps. This is going out on a date night. This is also like really dressing it up for the office, maybe a suit and pumps. Maybe this is going on your first date and really wanting to set the tone and set the mood and kind of serious, but also playful. So this is Rebecca Minkoff coming in at my number 5 spot. My number 4 spot, it was really hard not to put 2 Muglers on this list because there are several that I really like. But my favorite is one that I reviewed, goodness, I think my very first week. This is Angel Au Croisier 2020 by Mugler. This is a gorgeous, fruity, coconut, tropical, everything in a bottle. It is beautiful to look at. It is beautiful to smell. I mean, this is truly summer in a bottle. This is a gorgeous fragrance. I did a full review, like I said. I'll link it in the description box below. But coming in at my number 4 spot, couldn't live without this one. Love it so much. I may need to buy a backup bottle because last year in the 2019 edition, it featured some different notes than this one, and I'm just nervous, anxious, excited, I don't know, to see what they'll release in 2021 for their Angel Flanker. But this is a gem. This is Angel Au Croisier 2020. Coming in at number 3, maybe a surprise to you because whenever I ordered these for my For Life, the top 3 were just like total mix up. I just kept going back and forth. My number 3 spot is Mon Guerlain by Guerlain. You guys know this is one of my favorite fragrances of all time. It was my signature scent for probably more than a year. It is a gorgeous, I'm almost out, like fresh floral fragrance. I'm going to get the bigger bottle whenever I replace my smaller bottle. But I am in love with this. And like I said, I think if I got married today, this might be the fragrance that I wear. I don't know. Probably so. This is a beautiful fragrance. This also features lavender, and I just love it. It's a great staple fragrance. I don't know. Just because it was my signature scent for more than a year, I feel like I wouldn't want to live my life without it. So for that reason, it is in my number 3 spot. In my number 2 spot is actually another flanker. Like, that's so strange to me that I like the flankers more than I like the original, but sometimes I guess they release a fragrance and make it better. This is Dolce & Gabbana, the One Intense. This is a gem dandy of a fragrance. Did I say gem dandy? I said gem dandy. Okay, so this is so pretty. It is so unique. This does have coconut, like the Angel Au Croisier, but it is totally different. This is, I think, fall, winter, spring, summer, all season appropriate, while the Angel Au Croisier is more summer in a bottle. This one is more, I don't know, sophisticated. I reviewed and battled the Dolce & Gabbana, the Only One, versus this one, the Only One Intense. You'll have to check that out in the description box below to see which one won that battle. I think in this case, just 10 for life, I had to pick this one, but I do enjoy the other. So my number 2 spot is Dolce & Gabbana, the Only One Intense. And my number 1 spot, ride or die, designer fragrance, is Tom Ford White Suede. I can't believe that Tom Ford is, oh, it's so good. So Tom Ford is kind of controversial. Is it niche? Is it designer? Is it this? Is it that? Because he does have a lower end, even though his low end is not that low end. I think that this huge bottle of white suede ran me somewhere in the $200-$300 range. I mean, this will last me a long time. This is a 100 ml bottle. But this is considered the not so exclusive line. Anyway, so I consider it designer. I think it's beautiful. Tom Ford is a designer. As we know, he makes clothing and accessories and all kinds of things, but this is just so good. And some people aren't crazy about this fragrance. I saw a review once where it said it was like powder and leather or something like that. I just don't get it. It's good. It's really good. So my number one spot, my number one favorite, which this list could change tomorrow. I don't know. But my number one favorite designer fragrance for life is White Suede by Tom Ford. I also have a review of my Tom Ford collection. You can check that out in the description box below. Thank you guys so much for watching. If your top 10 video would look different, drop me a comment below. Let me know what your list looks like. I want to know if I missed something, if I need to add something, if I need to check something out. Is there a new fragrance? Is there an old fragrance? Let me know in the comments below. Don't forget to subscribe and hit that little notification bell to be notified of all future videos and reviews. Smell you later.